Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Star Wars The Black Series GameStop exclusive gaming greats, Star Wars Republic Commando RC-1138, aka Boss. We've been getting a lot of gaming greats from Black Series lately for GameStop and whatnot. Pretty good assortment and variety going on there, and we have this one here which I've been very excited to take a look at because I really like Republic Commandos. If you haven't played that game, it's pretty old, but I still think it holds up. I do think it needs a revitalization, like a complete remake, but just not from EA. Anyway, let's just go ahead and take a look at the packaging. I want to open this right away. Top half, Star Wars Black Series, very basic stuff that I've done a couple Black Series reviews the past couple days, so you guys probably know what's going on by now. You do also have the figure in the box. We do get to the bottom half here. It does have the Gaming Great sticker as well as Star Wars Republic Commando, RC-1138, aka Boss. You do have the choking hazard HS4 up as well as the Hasbro logo. On this side, it just says Gaming Greats towards the top, a blue sash as well as Star Wars The Black Series. But on this side, very cool artwork of Boss right there. You also have some light blue going down towards the bottom as well as the name of the character. Here's a wide shot of the packaging on the back, as you can see there. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see Star Wars The Black Series as well as the name of the character. Again, you also have a multilingual read-up, the image that we saw earlier, as well as Republic Commando. When we get down here, it says number 7 out of the Gaming Greats, Star Wars Republic Commando, and multilingual warnings. And here's the barcode in case you need it. Let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here's the figure out of the packaging, and overall, I do think it's pretty fun to mess around with. However, from what I've seen online, and I kind of agree, there are some painfully inaccurate stuff with this figure, which I will be going over in a second. And a couple things with my particular figure I'm not fond of. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Don't take a close look at the figure. We got a DC-17 here. We've gotten this with other characters like Hunter in the past. I feel like... here we go with me nitpicking, but I feel like there's some things messed up with the casting because there's like some matte black and then there's some glossy black throughout. It's really not a big deal. You really gotta look at it hard because the overall sculpt of it is pretty nice. There's just not that much paint. Lots of nice different pieces like in the barrel and whatnot, on the under part of the barrel, and the handle and the trigger too. Very cool. We also get a backpack. I have to look at an image. People have been saying this is an inaccurate backpack compared to what he actually has. This is also, I believe, with one of the Bad Batch characters. I think Hunter again. We have some nice silver right here though. Orange comes through really nice with some nice scratches and marks and whatnot. And then you have it's molded in this off-white casted plastic mostly. We do have this piece here. It's a peg. Hole on the back, peg it in like so. A little bit of a white mark there I forgot to mention too. And it fits in there pretty nice and secure. So since this game is super old and the screenshots of the characters aren't going to be the greatest quality, this is as good as I can find of how Boss is supposed to look in the game compared to the figure on the left, what you're seeing right here. So there are some inaccuracies that I've been noticing when I've been messing around with this figure compared to how a Republic Commando is supposed to look like. So here's the figure itself. First thing I want to mention that I do like is that this helmet is really cool. I dig it a lot. They did a really good job with the visor piece with the pretty much the metallic blue going on in there in the visor. It looks really nice. The rest of the helmet sculpt is really good too. The paint is overall pretty good. There's really not much mismatches and whatnot. It's like dark silver going on right here on the back. The orange on here is painted really nice. You can see it looks a little scratched, like how it's supposed to. The vents or whatever around his mouth looking nice. All of that, I think, looks really good. It is a solid cast, so you don't have to worry about warping, where it's like a head underneath and it would be a soft helmet. Glad they decided to do it instead. The rest of the body, though, when I look at it, yeah, if I'm being honest, it's a little too slim. I know that they were saving costs by using, Hunter. I just wish that they retooled some things. Mostly a bigger, a larger upper torso. I believe this shoulder pad here for Boss should also be unique, so it's supposed to be a little bit bigger than this one here and look different. And then the gauntlet pieces are actually supposed to be covering like almost the entire elbow, from my understanding. Maybe the legs could be a little bit bigger too, but I think the legs, for what I've seen, are fairly accurate, I guess. I've been seeing a lot of people say that this figure is very disappointing because it's just not very faithful, and I completely understand. I agree with a lot of it, but what is good about the figure is mostly, where there is paint apps, like in the orange, it's very good. When you're looking here, again, it's a reuse of Hunter, so it has a bunch of scratches and whatnot throughout his armor sculpted in there, looking really nice. The messy orange paint on there, looking like it's very scratched. The markings right there, looking really nice. That's what the back looks like. So it's a little flat. That's because they have to compensate for putting this on there. And again, I actually couldn't find an image, or I haven't looked up an image yet of what the backpack is supposed to look like, I should say. So people have been saying this is slightly inaccurate. But either way, there's good things about it. The rest of it, let's see what else. Mostly reused gauntlet pieces in the orange going on into the hands right here. Pretty nice. You going up in here too, you can see a little bit of white. I don't know if it's supposed to be just like the paint's being chipped on his armor, or if it's supposed to be like dirt or something. These shoulder pads here, they move independently, but they're pretty much stuck in there, but they can move on their own. I like that system. What I don't like, which we'll get to in a second, is the knees. First of all, let's talk about the rest of the torso, because if you look, let's back out a little bit so you can see a little better. You look here, and they just kind of look like they put a little bit dash of gray paint on there to make it look like there was dirt or something. I wish it was, a little bit more detail when it came to how the paint looked on there. But the rest of it, it's just a plain white. It's kind of hard to see because the white is, the light's getting in the way of this plastic. But there is some scratches in there. There's pretty nicely sculpted. Just a few minor scratches. Some dirt on this upper thigh, as you can see here. I wish I had Hunter to compare real quick. He's in the room somewhere. But the knee pads are this system where they're on the upper leg and they're not on the knee. So when you move it, it's not going to move around. Because it's so big and you just can't help but notice it. I don't like how they do it there. I know they do it for the normal clones. I don't think it's nearly as bad on those clones. I guess just the size of how big these are make a difference. We have some dirt on the knee pads there. Pretty much the rest of this is all just this off-white, or just pretty much a white glossy mold, pretty much. I believe the feet have been reused different times. They're definitely getting reused from Hunter. And so that's the top of the feet look like when I'm trying to focus up there. There's the bottom. Now this gauntlet piece, I forgot to mention, there's nothing here anymore. I guess they patched this up, like, actually put some sculpting in here, so it's not just an exposed hole. But that's where, like, Hunter's knife holster would go. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but there's also the black for the undersuit, as you can see. All of that I don't have a problem with. It's just the fact that I'm pretty sure the gauntlets are supposed to be wider and covering the elbow. That the inaccuracy mostly. So I don't entirely think it's a bad looking figure. I understand people's grievances and I agree with some of them, but overall there are some good things about the overall sculpt. I just wish they did retool and put a little bit more effort and not just give us a new head sculpt. Articulation is pretty decent though. Focusing back up, we do have a swivel at the head as well as a little bit of a rocker. Goes forward and back. So the forward and back motion is not amazing. There's also some articulation going into the torso, so it allows for a little bit better range of motion when you want to move the head around. That was my phone. Sorry. We do have this rotating shoulder piece, like I said, but the arm also goes all the way around. They do go in and out right there. Swivel at the elbow as well as a single joint elbow, but it bends pretty well. We also have swivel at the wrist as well as an up and down hinge here for the wrist, but this one goes in and out. We have a ball jointed waist, forward, back, side to side, all the way around. Actually pretty good articulation there. I have to slightly rotate these legs like this, but it can kick out. The back motion is not amazing. Be careful, you might chip these parts here when you're moving it a little bit too much like that. Like this, like I pretty much just did it just now. In and out like so. Upper thigh swivel, a knee swivel, which is a little redundant because you have the upper thigh swivel. You also have a single joint knee that bends pretty well though. Again, don't like that sticking out. So when you're bending down and bending your knee or rotating it other places, it's not going to look natural. We do have a little bit of sculpting going on here, so it allows for a better down motion. Not amazing though. Up, same thing, not amazing. And then we do have ankle rockers. So for quick size comparisons on the right, I did bring out Hunter actually, and as you can see, it quite literally is just a reuse of Hunter. I think it works well for Hunter because that's a Clone Wars character. I know they're trying to put in more like the realistic style, but the armor for that, the way that's sculpted, looks, accurate to how he looked in the show. I don't think it really works that well with how Boss is supposed to look himself. But as you can see on the left, we have Black Suit Spider-Man from the newest release of Retro Collection Marvel Legends. Yeah, you can see Marvel Legends is going to be taller than clones, which are about the same height and shorter than Marvel Legends. Overall, I don't think Boss is a bad figure. It's cool to get Republic Commandos. I just wish that they did retool some things to make them look more faithful to how they looked in the game and just, look a little bit bulkier like they're supposed to. What's good about the figure is the unique head sculpt. It's awesome, as well as the paint apps, and the articulation itself is pretty good. And certain sculpted details, it's like scratches and whatnot, are very nice for the figure. However, like a lot of people have been saying, and I agree, I just wish it was more accurate to how the armor is actually supposed to look. But if you're interested in getting some Republic Commandos for your shelf, this thing is a little over $25, I think like $26.49 or whatever. It is a GameStop exclusive. That's pretty much it. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.